Hi people, today I will explain about disaster recovery, security, scalability and path and export commands. Disaster recovery. AWS RDS uses two types of disaster recovery. Cross-region replica and AWS Aurora Global. Cross-region read replica. A read replica is a database which is launched in another region, another zone, another same region and same zone. Mostly a read replica is used for disaster recovery by launching in another region. For example, we launch a database in Mumbai region. A primary database running in availability zone and a standby database running in availability zone 2. If complete region goes down, there will be a complete data loss. There will be complete downtime for the user. Instead, we launch a read replica in another region. And in failure time, a read replica can run as a standalone database. That's why read replica databases are used for disaster recovery. AWS Aurora Globally Database. AWS Aurora Globally Database is automatically manages the instances. It means a read replica automatically created by the AWS. For example, a primary database is running in Mumbai region. One read replica is in Singapore and another read replica is in Europe. The users are accessing the application all over the global by using these replicas using primary database. It's easy to access and it performs better. If a read replica in Singapore goes down because of error or any error or because of disaster, AWS Aurora Globally immediately launch a read replica in another region. AWS Aurora database is completely optimized for this type of disaster recoveries and it is scalable at any period of time as per the user data. A read replica should need a manual intervention to create or to launch an instance in another region. But AWS Aurora database goes globally and it need no need of manual intervention. AWS automatically launches the read replica in another region or in another availability zone. Security. AWS RDS by default it provides security for the database storage, automatic backups, snapshots and for the read replicas. AWS uses AWS Key Managed Service. It provides encryption at rest. AWS RDS ensures even the any other unauthorized user access the raw data, he couldn't access the data, or he couldn't see the data. AWS RDS uses two types of encryptions: AWS KMS plus in-transit encryption. An in-transit encryption is completely different from the AWS KMS encryption. In-transit encryption uses SSL and TLS encryption. It encrypts the user data. It encrypts the communication and connection between the application to the user. Any unauthorized users try to interrupt the connection, the data will be encrypted and the connection is encrypted. So anyone couldn't access the data by default without any authorization. Scalability. AWS RDS maintains two types of scaling: compute scaling and storage scaling. A compute scaling is also called as vertical scaling. In vertical scaling, there will be downtime for the user. A compute scaling means AWS increases and decreases. A compute scaling means RDS database. In compute scaling, we increase and decrease the compute resources of instance. For example, database servers managing with the 2 virtual CPUs and 8 GB memory. If the user traffic spikes, CPU works perfect, CPU performs well, database performs well, and storage works better. But user queries will be lag. So a developer or a DevOps engineer will manually edit the instance type. A database compute services. A database CPU memory resources are 2 GB and 2 virtual CPUs and 8 GB. We increase it to 8 virtual CPUs and 64 GB memory. It ensures better performance for the user. And storage scaling. Storage scaling is about increasing the storage capacity. A database works continuously every day. As the business grows, multiple users will be added to the application. As the data grows, storage capacity should be increased. And storage scaling is done by AWS automatically. For example, storage capacity is 100 GB. AWS continuously monitor the storage. When the storage reaches 96 GB or 98 GB, AWS automatically increase the storage up to 150 GB or 250 GB. It increases the storage capacity and it will be done automatically. This is how storage scaling and compute scaling will be done. Thank you for today. Thank you.